Hey guys, so welcome to this week's episode. So this week I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm actually currently traveling down to Miami for the weekend, and I thought I would just have you guys tag along with me. So we don't really have like a full plan of exactly what we're going to do, but we have some little spots that we definitely know we're going to do. So the first one is Blowing Rock, which is in Jupiter. So we're going to go over to the other side. Right now we're at the little lagoon area that they have here at this conservatory. So we're gonna walk around here, the little lagoon trail. Then we're gonna head over to Blowing Rock on the Atlantic side and see what that all has in tail for us. So I hope you guys enjoy as we just kind of travel around South Florida and see what we can find and experience. And I really hope you guys have fun. Thanks again for joining. Oh, I wish that this video was as beautiful as this is in real life. Guys, the water of this lagoon is absolutely gorgeous. It is crystal clear. You can see all the vegetation, the fish swimming around. It is just, it's so amazing. This is the conservation area that they have here, and their little education center and bathrooms and stuff. It is actually temporarily closed right now. I don't see a date of information when they will open back up, but it does kind of look kind of cool inside, so hopefully soon they'll open it back up. There is a QR code where you can do virtual lectures. I'll go over to that so you guys can see it if you want to check anything out.
Oh, there it is.
So it looks like they have all kinds of information on the rock formations and everything that we're gonna go see across the way. So if you guys come here, hopefully the education center will be open for you guys. One of the purposes behind the preserve is to protect this amazing shoreline of Anastasia limestone. Now today when we're here, it is not as rough as it would be on some days in the winter months, but this water can actually shoot through these rocks up to 50 feet in the air, and it has to be amazing to see that. Now, the preserve is not just about the shoreline. There's actually these amazing trails that you can walk down that go right along the shore. And the preserve is here to help protect not just the limestone, but also some endangered plants and animals. You also have to be careful when you're walking around on the beach side that there are sea turtle nests, so definitely watch out for that. There's some really cute lizards around here, but this is definitely a place that you guys want to come and check out whenever you're in the Jupiter area or you're headed down to Central or South Florida, So the preserve is open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. They are closed, however, on Easter Sunday, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas Eve through the day after Christmas. But guys, I definitely highly recommend you come and check out Blowing Rocks Preserve. We have checked into our hotel here in West Palm, and we're gonna grab a bite to eat over on Clematis Street. So we're gonna walk around, see what sights we have to see in this little cute historical part of West Palm. As we were walking around Clematis Street, I just happened to see a historical marker, and you guys know me. I have to stop, see what makes this spot so special, and so I wanted to share it with you guys. So we are actually standing on Flagler Park, which was once known as City Park, and this spot has played an important role in the public space here in West Palm Beach since its founding. So the city streets are actually laid out on a grid pattern. So they run north, south, east, west, except for one variation. Right here on the eastern end of Clematis Street are two angled roads, and they make a triangular shape, which has turned into this amazing park and public space. So dating back to the 1900s, the downtown merchants used to organize impromptu ball games. There was a bandstand created for concerts, a shuffleboard. The women's club had a spot here. There was a reading room that was later developed. And this area has continued to grow and grow and grow. And still to this day, we see that this area is a staple in the downtown activities as a major public space. Well, good morning, everybody. Today, we are going to take these tracks down here and head down to Miami from West Palm. So we decided to take the Brightline, which is the new speed trains that they have. Right now, they're only servicing Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm, but soon they will be in Orlando. So we opted to get the premium package. It was only $27 for each of us, but you get to sit in this nice little lounge area before the train leaves. They have free sodas, free alcoholic beverages. It's beer and wine. And then we're going in the morning. So we have a breakfast, a little continental breakfast. And then they have juices and coffee over here. Now, of course, we could have just gotten in our car and drove down to Miami, but what's the fun in that? I mean, when you have the opportunity to jump on a speed train and let somebody else drive for you, yeah, you just kind of take it. And I will say I highly recommend this. So our hotel prices were actually a lot cheaper up in West Palm versus prices that we saw in Miami. So opting to stay there and just ride the train saved us so much money. So for you budget travelers, I highly recommend doing that. Stay in either West Palm or Fort Lauderdale, ride the train into Miami. You will love this experience. So one of the historical parts that I really love about Brightline and what they're doing here is they're actually kind of recreating Henry Flagler's path that he took from Jacksonville down to Miami. So right now, the Brightline, like I said before, only has the Miami, the Fort Lauderdale, and the West Palm stops. But they're going to be adding so many more. So right now, they're actually currently working on the track that continues to go north, goes up to Cocoa, and then it turns down and goes over to Orlando's airport. And then it will be going to like Disney Springs. They're talking about going to Universal, heading over to Tampa. And then there's also another proposal that takes it up into the Jacksonville area. So it's continuing that path that Henry Flagler actually created here that we are going to touch on a little later once we get into Miami, and a little bit of the history of the city and how it got founded and how the city is definitely unique for a major metropolitan area in its founding.
Welcome to Miami. We hope you enjoyed the ride and thank you for choosing Brightline.
Hi. I don't know. That's the craziest thing I've seen. Downtown Miami, and we have a rooster. When you're in one of the most expensive cities in the United States and home to a lot of celebrities, well, you do the touristy thing and you go on the celebrity home boat cruise. So we chose to go with Bay Ride Tours on theirs, and it was a lot of fun. Now, I will say, make sure you sit on the right-hand side of the boat, not the left like we did. So I kind of got lost on what some of these houses, who they belong to. But I will say the house right here belonged to the creator of a certain blue pill, and man, can I say his house was so huge. One of the largest ones for sure that we saw on this boat tour. Now the one here, the White House in the center, that is Matt Damon's house, and the White House to its right was Shakira's house. So in a minute you'll see a large boat in front of a house that is actually David Beckham's house, and his next door neighbor is Gloria Estefan. So as we continue on our tour through Biscayne Bay, we end up around to the financial district here in downtown Miami, and this hotel that we're coming up to is actually the Intercontinental Miami, and it is the most expensive building here. It is actually made completely of marble inside and outside. It's amazing. And of course, that yacht on the outside is pretty spectacular as well. Another budget-friendly tip is to use Miami's public transportation. We actually use the free monorail system to head over here to the Riverwalk area, and we happened upon another historical site, which I love when those things happen. It's so great to walk around and to just find these little gems that mean so much to these cities and their founding, and this one in particular is a great example of that happening. So, for those of you who do not know, the city of Miami was actually originally called Fort Dallas, and it was a post that the military had built during the Seminole Wars. And it was a way for the military to monitor the Seminoles trading with the Cubans and down in the West Indies. The building that we are looking at is called the Flagler's Workers House. It is also known as the Palm Cottage. It is the last known building here in Miami that is directly associated with the railroad and its developer, Henry Flagler. It is also one of the city's fewest surviving examples of folk Victorian architecture. The building was built around 1897, and it was one of at least 30 rental houses that Flagler had constructed as homes for his workers that were building the Royal Palm Hotel. Now, this building was moved here to the Fort Dallas Park in the 1980s, and it is listed on the National Registry of Historic Places. But as you can tell, the building is in some dire need of some help, and the city is actually working to get some funds together and restore this building for its historic significance. It was damaged during one of the hurricanes, and so they've been dealing with that for the past several years of trying to get it back to where it once was. So as we continue our journey down the Riverwalk, I wanted to discuss with you guys one of the reasons why we decided to ride the train today. So the city of Miami is actually the only major U.S. city that was founded by a woman. Julia Tuttle, who was originally born in Ohio, moved to the Fort Dallas area in 1891. Now, she grew 40 acres into over 1,000 acres within just a few short years. But she knew to get the city to continue to develop and grow, she needed transportation to connect the northern part of Florida down here to South Florida. So she reached out to both Henry Plant and Henry Flagler to do this. Well, her goal wasn't actually accomplished until the Great Freeze of 1894, where the citrus industry was almost completely wiped out in the northern parts of the state. And what she did was she sent a orange blossom up to Henry Flagler to prove that the climate was a lot warmer down here in South Florida. And it worked. By April 1896, the Florida East Coast Rail Service actually started here, and the city of Miami was born. Sadly, though, by 1898, Julia Tuttle had died from what is believed to be meningitis. So, in honor of her today, we rode what she started, the rail system that brought Miami to North Florida. Well, sadly, our trip here in Miami has to come to an end, but man, we had a absolutely fabulous day here in the city, and there was a lot of sights that we saw that I didn't share with you guys, but we had an amazing time just walking around the streets, just sitting on a bench on the Riverwalk and just enjoying the boats going by, and of course eating some amazing Cuban food. But now we are on our train ride back to West Palm, and we opted to sit on the other side of the train so we could have a new view And again, it was another spectacular ride back. And so I just want to point out that if you do choose to do the premium package, which we did on the ride back up, like I said, you have that food option in the pre-boarding area, which it was closer to dinner time, so there was salads and meat trays and all kinds of treats and cookies and candies and stuff that you could have, and of course unlimited sodas and alcoholic beverages. But a little tip that we did not know until after, you can actually take that food that you get there in the pre-boarding area onto the train as well. Now you do get snacks if you're doing the 2 different stops, which we had the Fort Lauderdale stop and then ours in West Palm. You do get a snack for each of those stops and a drink, but that was just the usual pretzels and chips and stuff like that. So definitely take some of that other food with you. They don't care. So that was our little pro tip that we learned at kind of the end of the trip. So again, I highly recommend you guys taking the Brightline train. Just even if you're going on a short little hop from Fort Lauderdale down to Miami, it was a great experience, and we will definitely be doing it again. We really enjoyed seeing the Anastasia limestone formations in Blowing Rock. So we decided to end this amazing trip here in South Florida with some more rock formations here on Hutchinson Island. So we came over here to Ross Whitman Beach, and we had an extra bonus. There is actually a historical location here. So the house that you are looking at is the House of Refuge at Gilbert's Bar. And this house is the last remaining of the original 12 shipwreck life-saving stations that was operated by the United States Life-Saving Service, which is one of the predecessors to the U.S. Coast Guard that we have today. So this house was built in 1876, and it helped stranded soldiers or travelers that got stranded along the East Coast. So the innkeeper, what they would do is after a big storm, they would walk along the beach and see if there was any castaways. Now, in 1904, there was a bad storm that came through, and the innkeeper was able to help 7 survivors of the George Valentine shipwreck. Now, this shipwreck is actually located right off of the shore, so if you're here on a calm day, you can actually snorkel out to the shipwreck or dive it and check out the shipwreck for yourself. It is actually also a historical location. Now, in 1915, the house became part of the U.S. Coast Guard as station number 207. And during World War II, it actually served as a lookout for enemy submarines. It was saved by the Historical Society of Martin County in 1955 and was put on the National Registry of Historic Places in 1974. Now, this location is actually closed currently as they are doing a major refurbishment, but I have added a link down below for their website, so if you are over in this location, definitely come check it out and check and see if they are open. But if not, you can still come and walk around, see the Anastasia limestone, and see the house from the outside. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this little weekend getaway to Miami with some little side stops in West Palm and Jupiter, and then last here on Hutchinson Island. Pretty cool how we started with some rock formations in Jupiter and then ended here with these pretty awesome ones with a little historical site here on Hutchinson Island. Well, I hope you guys come back and join me for some more as we continue to explore, have fun, and learn. Bye guys!